boy right there, you know? Yeah, Soca Superman. It's, of course, a production. Big up to and much love to Smitty and the entire team for putting this one together. So that's my offering, and well, interestingly, that's the topic for today. When I saw the notes last night, I said, well, I want to know what direction you want to go in with the Soca Superman. I thought I had to come out with my cape and my tights. I thought it was performance time, you know. But anyway, we have conversations ahead. Yohance, great to see you, man. Happy Carnival, happy Thursday.
Yes, thank you very much, Jason. Thank you very much for everybody viewing too. Soca Superman, right?
Yeah.
During Carnival time, many of us do things we don't normally do. And many times I've seen people think they're invincible. People think they're Superman and Superwoman. They could do things without consequence. They could do things they never do before. And that's on a mental and emotional level, and also on a physical level. So many times people exert themselves more than usual, and sometimes you can't handle it and you end up with injuries after Carnival. Many times you do things, right, mentally and emotionally. Sometimes you take risks, whether it is relationship-wise, whether it is sometimes you jump out yourself and you might be more aggressive than usual and end up in a fight, and of course there are consequences. So that Superman effect sometimes only lasts for the season, and then afterwards you realize the consequences of your action.
No, you're spot on. It is a time of overindulgence, and I think, you know, there are those who push themselves, but you see, the Carnival spirit in itself, you know, the season, the pomp, even the friends that you might keep, the enablers, they are the ones who sometimes will fan that Superman flame, you know, or Superwoman flame, because we pump in, we go in, right down, Yohance, until we lie down. That's become a mantra within the Carnival. There are people who feel a sense of pride when they lie down. I went right down till I lie down.
Right, and I agree. You should do a little more, you know. So here the difference. Carnival might give you some superpowers, right? But it's not Superman or Superwoman. Because remember, Superman, invulnerable. Nothing could touch him, except the kryptonite, right? But for the most part, nothing could touch him.
He's a man of steel.
Right. But we are not men and women of steel, right? And I would say enjoy yourself, do some more, but be mindful of it. And to understand to the effect, because if we're in a routine all the time, and we usually have certain restrictions, whenever you see or you're able to do something without restriction, it is kind of open the floodgates. So let me give you an example, and there's a phenomenon actually that was really interesting. You can't walk in certain parts of the road, right? Because road is for cars. Yeah. But now I could walk on the road. And I remember myself being on the road and even talking to people, you know, walking on the road, I never really walked in this part before. It feel like something new. I could do things I never do before. So that led into the feeling of I could do more.
You know, what I'm about to say is not to encourage this kind of behavior, but I mean, you would have done your studies overseas, so you spent some time, you lived overseas, so you understand the culture that exists there, and it's a culture that exists not only in the US, but also here. There are people who go out with the intention to get, as they say, quote unquote, wasted. Whether it's escapism, whether it's somebody with some kind of issue and worries and you're just using the party format and the drinks to, again, just get wasted. I mean, what do you say to that person who is going knowing in advance that they plan to go over the line?
Be careful, because I know people who, and I'm using your word, went out to get wasted and put things in place for the wasted. Let me give you an example. They know if I drink straight 3 days, right, I need 3 days to recover. So they have the 3 days to recover. I just give an example. Some people know, hey, my knees ain't good. I know after them 3 days or how much ever long on the road, I know that I need some days to recover. I know I need to bandage up. So they kind of put things in place for your overindulgence. But have some people no preparation. They just go out there and then you could see the effects of it throughout the year. I mean, that's why we have plenty of children born in October, November, you know, right? That's why you have plenty of people who are in debt for the entire year. It have people, even with injuries, I'll tell you something. It have men who injured because they try to lift up when they can't lift up. It have women who injured because they try to jump on men and they move, right? So I just showing you the Carnival time. I understand. It's a time to jump out yourself. It's a time to reflect and manifest different aspects of yourself. But it's only for a period.
I love what you said, you could tap into your superpower, but at the same time, there must be a particular line. I mean, for me, there's a line I know I won't cross. There's a particular moment in any scenario where I say, okay, that's enough, and I start to wind down, or I look to make
Is that to wind down, pun intended?
Yeah, well, wind down and wind down while winding down, right?
Right.
And, you make your escape. You make an early exit sometimes. You make a beeline to the car park before the crowd. As they say, you don't wait till the last candle out. Mm-hmm. But then there are those who, it's Monday, Tuesday, straight down to last lap. Sometimes they're going stuff the Wednesday. I don't know. You think it's because again, not all, some folks don't do anything for the whole year, so they try to ram and cram all their fun activity into those 3 to 2 to let's probably some people might cram it into 1 week.
Yes.
And you rest for the rest of the year, but for that 1 week, you're going the distance.
Now, even if you're doing that, right, again, put things in place for it. So even if, all right, I go and spend real money during the carnival, people save up for it. People understand, well, if I spend 10,000 more, right, this season, because I put things in place for it. But the problem is when you don't put things in place for it and you just go out. And I'm not only talking about people who participated in carnival, The carnival season have some people don't participate, but sometimes they think they have more time than they really have, so they procrastinate on work they have to do. Mm-hmm. People, whether they go in church camp, they go in vacation, sometimes people spend more money on the vacation for carnival than they have.
Even those who work in the space, because not everyone will partake in the carnival via the revelry part. Yes, that's a beautiful aspect, but the folks who keep the ecosystem alive, we're talking bar staff, security, folks on the ground, the people who bend in the iron and the wire, mask makers, pan men, pan women. I've seen a man, Yohance, stand up sleeping, A backstage manager, the man is sleeping, Yohance, standing, and you could tell the man probably didn't see a bed in days, and I'm saying, my gosh, to get to that place, you can tell he's miserable, but he's on the job. What you say to that person? Because clearly, you're not Superman.
And clearly, and again, as saying, put things in place. Carnival comes every year, right? And yes, sometimes the job function may be different. They might have more jobs or less jobs, etc. But it comes every year, so you could prepare for it. If there's no preparation, then it will cause problems.
So more or less, you're just saying have a game plan, basically. Don't go in there with, have a particular perspective, or at least mentally, or at least have people around you, because I think having folks around you who could keep you in check, or at least look out for you. Because I've been in scenarios where friends went the extra mile and they couldn't make and had to lie down. And I remember, just like a fallen soldier, I never left their side,
Right. I
stay right there with them because I don't want them to get harassed, to be robbed, to be victimized, nobody to take pictures of them too. I pull square, make sure, that's just my moral compass. And I hope that folks, when you're moving, you have people like that in your camp.
Yeah, and all of that, what you're saying is preparation too, Having the right people around you is preparation, making sure you have the right time to recover, preparation, making sure you put the right amount of money aside, because, listen, have people who think they could fed, do sleep, and then drive. Fed, do sleep, drink, and do things.
Yeah.
And he's not Superman, because around carnival time, accidents and car accidents, is an increase. So, and accidents in general, increase because you think you're Superman and Superwoman.
Again, if watch an interesting twist on the Superman, I tell you. You want to say? You have the final say. Go right ahead.
Nation, carnivals are time to tap into your superpowers, but you're not invulnerable like Superman. Don't make life complicated, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. I mean, Superman is the man of steel, but you're not that. So by all means, well said, Yohance. I love the message and the twist on the soca Superman. Let's take that pause. Of course, we're going to transition to the morning shot. There might be a segment to take in before we get into our sports segment at 7:30. But by all means, enjoy the jam. Soca Superman, man. Smitty, advocate. Thanks again for this banger in the carnival.
Make way for the Superman.